All right, gang, I'm gonna film. This is gonna be at the very beginning of the video. What you'll see next, when I originally started taking this part apart, I was incorrect in what I thought was going on. Basically, I got the blower motor out, and basically right here is basically going to the blower motor, and then this here is going to the ignition switch, and then basically part of the same circuit that heads to the switch here. And what I'll show you here on the diagram, basically this is a something off the internet. It's not exact, but it's close enough. So I've got a dark green wire coming from my ignition switch from my fuse on the side of the motor. So you see that green one there. The black one is actually connected to power as well. And this is confusing a little bit for me. What's happening is, for this motor to work, it needs this ground. And for it to get this ground, this switch, the heater control switch, basically grounds out the wires going to the resistor. When it grounds out the light blue one, which is right here, basically it goes from, this is our ground coming in, this is hot, so basically it grounds out this, grounds out the blue one for high speed, green one for medium, and the tan one for low. This blue and white one is going to the AC switch, I believe, and the orange one I'm actually not sure. So the culprit is this bad boy here. You're supposed to have power. Still doesn't quite make sense to me, having power present at the motor, but it's getting its ground signal from this switch. So we're not adding 12, we're not supplying positive voltage to the motor, we're simply grounding out the circuit up here. So if that makes sense at all, I just wanted to show this first before you're gonna see some incorrect information. Because first I was testing this and I was getting some reaction, but this is this is to the AC unit, I believe. And this is, I think, going into the resistor, but as you can see, it's like inside the HVAC, so what the hell. Anyways, and then this right here, another big pain in the butt thing. They decided, because they're geniuses, to run the, run the wiring back behind this. There's no way to get that at all. Up around the back to here. So there's two things to do. You can either splice the wires with your new one, because I am going to replace this blower motor. This blower motor does work, but it's getting tired, and on low it barely works. So you can either just hook up some butt connectors, make sure it's a nice solid connection. But what I'm going to try is I'm going to cut it right here, attach the new connector to there, and then see if I can pull it out from up top here and see if I can string it through. Now, if it doesn't string through, I'll just pull it back out, and then I'll have plenty of wire to do my butt connector. But I want to try and hook it up properly first. But as you can see, it literally goes back behind there. So anyways, long intro video. Just wanted to show a little bit more about what's going on in this circuit. This diagram is telling the story. I wish I would have found this before. But just trying to figure everything out. So, all right, guys. I'm going to get this new blower motor in. It is pretty complex. You have to make sure to get this gasket on there before you wire it up, because that's going to help seal against the back there. And then I'm already going to have to silicone this to there, let it dry. And then there's another gasket I have to silicone on there. And then, of course, we're going to replace our bird cage and try to do all this in the right order. So, all right. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, guys and gals, we got ourselves an oldie but goodie. This is actually my grandma's old vehicle. It's a 1994 Chrysler LeBaron. It's got the 3-liter V6. It's currently my nephew's, actually my cousin's son. Chrysler LeBaron LE. And a couple of different issues, but what I'm looking to remedy here today is to figure out why he's got no heat. And of course, I forgot to bring the key in, but his switching seems to work good. So he's either got an issue, and there's no blower motor. So he's either got an issue here at the switch or down at the motor. It's a possibility the fuse is blown, but excuse me, I'm gonna guess the blower motor is bad. Not a lot of videos on this thing on the internet, so I'm going to slowly document how to gain access, hopefully in the most efficient manner. So we are calling this video diagnosing no heat coming out of vents or defrost or whatever. And again, I think it's the blower motor, because it does, the heater core is getting coolant. I could tell because when it came here and it was running, you can feel, you know, that ambient heat in the area. So anyways, let's get after it. I will keep filming piece by piece here. All right, y'all, we are checking the fuses. First of all, this is how the fuses are laid out. We've got our heater AC there at number 9. Pretty sure that's just powering our control unit. So I just want to make sure that we've got power there. It's going to be this one right here. I don't know if there's power to it with it off. No. Yeah, let me just turn the key on. I didn't think so. Turning the key to the on position. On the off chance it's a blown fuse. So I've got power there. And I've also got power across. So I know my control, oh, that's the radio. I know this has power unless there's a circuit, you know, short circuit between the fuse and this, but I'm guessing that, again, the blow up motor is the culprit. I just wanted to, at least on the off chance, you always want to check the simplest stuff first. So we're going to go ahead and start taking this apart. I'm going to start with the glove box. I got half of the under, whatever you call it, basically the foot shield. I've got one more way back here or something to get, but pretty sure this glove box just needs to come out because the blower motor is right behind this unit here. I don't know if you can see that. So we will have to remove that because, again, I don't have a manual and I don't know of anything else to do. I don't know. I'm gonna get this off first because I might be able to access some wiring down there. If I have power getting to the blower motor from this, of course, this should be going to the resistor, through the resistor, and then to the blower motor. So I'm going to access the plug first if I can. Again, I don't know much about. There's one video on a guy showing heater core, and so I know for sure the blower motor's back there. It's just not quite as convenient as some other vehicles. So again, I'm going to go ahead and try to remove this first, and I'll film once I get this off. All right, y'all, I've gained access. This technically just needs to come down on this side. I did locate the other bolts over here. You've got one there, and then these things here in the back, they just unscrew. And I think to get this out, this needs to be removed. So I'm just sitting this down here for now. I'm going to attempt to not remove this. And I believe I've located the power source for the blower motor. I'm not exactly sure. I really don't know, but it kind of looks like some beefy motor wires on this side. Let me zoom in a little bit. And then they do go back here behind what looks like into this area. So what I'm going to do is run a test on this output here to see if I'm getting power from the control center, if my guess is correct, since I don't have any good information here. All right, 1 second. Let me go ahead and hang up. I don't have a stand for my phone. 1 sec. All right, excuse the beep, guys. So I'm connected to the blue and yellow here. I've got constant power at the middle one, which is the white and black. And then the blue and white one, I'm not sure. There's some sort of a positive side of the circuit source. I have no idea. But when I go to here, I have nothing. As you can see, I'm hooked up there. And I'm gonna go turn this here, right there. And I've got power, or at least the switch is connecting the ground. So, and I think the ground is being adjusted by this. I'm not sure though. So what I've got is power and a ground getting to the motor, and I have no motor. So I'm gonna assume the motor's bad. Let's shut this bad boy down. So, and the way I know this is going to the blower motor is when I hit the switch, this circuit activated. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out how to get this blower motor cover off. We might have to remove this here, get this out of the way. This is part of the main dash, so that's not going anywhere. There is a bolt down here for this thing. I'm not sure where that goes. You can see this is spot welded. I'm assuming I can get this out without taking all of this out. So we're gonna go ahead and attempt it. And then while we're here, let's make sure the hot cold side is actually operating. So, which I believe this was what this is here. You know, and I think it only works with the engine running because as you can see, that green tube is vacuum. So if it's not getting a vacuum from the engine, this isn't gonna operate. So I can test this later once I get it running. But good thing to know. This is either the, I think it is the blend door. I have no idea. It's either the blend door, which blends the hot and cold air, or the mode door, which would be here, blending which mode the air is flowing through, and then blend meaning, you know, what type of temperature blend we got going to. All right, guys, sorry for the beep. Let's get this cover off. All right, you guys, I was able to get the, you know, blower motor, door cover, whatever you call it, off. You do have to remove this, which I found out is simply the recirculator, where it closes the cabin off, I believe. In fact, I have no idea. I'll have to double check all that, but I'm pretty sure it's recirculation. In fact, that's what that's showing there. That's interesting. Yeah, if you look at this, and this goes all the way over to here, I think that's what that's doing. When AC is on, it recommends you slide this all over to here. And what it's doing is it's closing, I think closing off to the outside world and just pulling in from the cab. So that's what that is. That's an AC related thing. Anyhow, so as you can see, there's on this side here, there's 1, 2, 3. Again, after you get the door or the thing removed from here, just remember how it's orientated, and then of course these just go right in there. A little, it was like a 3/8, some weirdo thing. Anyways, got that off. Got these two upper bolts here. They were basically up here, and then got the side bolts, which is boom, 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 boom. So that's off, and what you'll have to do when going back together, you're gonna have to just glue this. Because it is very important to get this seal back together. You might get a new one if they sell them, but we're gonna clean this up and just put some silicone down and very carefully put it back. Because if you lose your seal there, it's gonna be pulling in different air. So a couple things. I realized that coming in from our switch here, this is going into our resistor, I believe. And I'm not sure how they have this set up. This is the weirdest thing in the world. I have no idea, because this is going back here, and then to get this blower motor off, as you can see, there's a bolt there, there's a bolt up there, and a bolt over there. I can get these lower ones down. If you look very carefully, we've got a spring-loaded clamp here, so I'm going to spray some WD-40 on there. I have to turn that one feature off so it becomes better close up. Let me do that really quick. All right, I guess it was already on. I don't know, it just seems blurry, but we're gonna remove this spring clamp here and get this squirrel cage off to more easily access our motor. And then I'm sure there's another connector, But golly, if you got to replace the resistor, because it's going right into here. I don't see how to get it out. Maybe it just pops out. I don't know. No. So it just goes back there. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on once we get this off. We're gonna move the squirrel cage and then get these 3 little bolts. They look like 7mm, 1/4 inch maybe. And then we'll see what's happening. And I can tell the motor does not feel that great, but you know, pretty sure it's bad. But what we're looking for is, are we getting power all the way to the motor? And if we're not, then we've got some issue, you know, back in here. And then as you can see this here, we're gonna have to glue this back up. And I'm telling you what, whoever designed this was an absolute moron. This is the biggest pain in the butt blower motor I've ever seen, actually. Over and out. All right, y'all. I was able to get the spring clamp off. To get the squirrel cage off, it's kind of difficult. You've got to pry both of these at the same time to get this little ridge over the little thingy bobber. And then basically, sorry, this thing keeps jumping in and out of its different cameras. Oh, hello. And then you can grab it with both hands and pull it out. So I would imagine the new motor probably does not come with that, just due to this OEM design. But I've got both bolts out here, or not both, but all 3. So let's pull it out here. Okay, there's our connectors. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's out to the firewall. So I could have tested out there. I actually assumed there was an option to do that. It's probably under this thing. No? What in the heck? What kind of weirdo thing is this, guys? What in the hell? There's no way. So this is our blower motor. Okay, I'm gonna remove that grommet, and that's what's going on. Okay, here we go. That grommet should reveal a connector. So let's fish around for that here. Okay. It doesn't. So next best thing, we're gonna hardwire. We're gonna make our own connector here. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't know where that goes, but the fact that it's not accessible is absolutely astronomically ridiculous. So this motor feels like crap. What I'm gonna have to do is stab my power probe into here to make sure we've got power to the motor. So let's check it out. What a mess. All right, y'all, our blower motor is commanded on. We've got power on both sides of the circuit. So this motor is at fault. So we gotta find us a new motor. All right, guys, we got the new one in there. What I did is, this is the old connector that was over the heater. I just cut it. I did have to remove the connector. I tried it once and it didn't work with the new connector going through that hole. But you take out this little white piece there. You can just press it out with a screwdriver. And then on each side of the tab, there's a little plastic locker. And then you can pull these out. And then I just taped it. Use more tape than I did. Tape it really good or else you'll lose it halfway. But put the new connector, take the new connector off like I just showed. Tape the new wire to here. And then basically pull it very carefully up through until you get the new one. And then what I would do first is just plug it right in so you're not gonna lose it. And then now we're basically hardwired in. We're not, well, not hardwired, but I didn't have to do any butt connectors. I got my new grommet in there. I'm gonna reinstall the blower motor. I'm going to, probably before I put on the squirrel cage, I'm going to clean and reinstall this gasket. I did break some stuff up here, this little corner pieces. I'm gonna reconstruct that as best I can, going back together. It just kind of is what it is. I did notice up here, this is missing all of its foam insulation for the, to basically seal. It's a terrible zoom, sorry guys. Anyways, that's going up to the defrost, so I might be able to seal off that a little bit. I don't want to use silicone, but a lot of the defrost air is exiting right there. So anyway, we'll get it figured out. Just one thing at a time, going back together. Just be really careful stringing that through. I almost lost it, and then I tried it, of course, just stringing it through with the connector, and this is too big to get through this little corner up here. So anyhow, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and install it. I already verified that it works. I'm gonna go ahead and install it, just get all this buttoned up, and then I'll figure out how best to do a switch. Obviously, you just need one for high speed only. You can do, you know, 3 switches, really, 3 separate switches. Or if you can find a cool 4-way switch, or at least a rocker switch where it'll go high and maybe medium or something like that. That's what I'll probably do. And then just forget low. We don't need low. But anyway, that's it. Gonna get after it. Excuse me, I'm probably gonna clean up my workspace a little bit. And then, one thing at a time, man. I was cussing this thing out, especially after I broke this stupid thing. Look at that. Basically, this whole corner broke, and of course, part of the corner is where the blower motor cap cover hooks up. So I'm gonna have to basically install the blower motor, fix all this, and then let it dry overnight, because I'm gonna use some silicone. And then tomorrow I'll go ahead and button it all up the rest of the way. And then also figure out that switch tomorrow. So, all right, guys, over and out. All right, guys, got the gasket all lined up. Everything nice and snug. Be careful not to over tighten because it's going into plastic. Next, I'm gonna basically clean this and then put little dabs of silicone around, and I have it somewhere here. Reinstall it. I'll show you which silicone I've used. Get that back up there, and then I found some of this that I can use to fill that gap in the defroster. I'll probably do something else to kind of fill that a little bit. I'm trying to think what I could do. And then reinstall these little pieces here just to get a nice seal on our cover. And I think we'll be, in business. Over now. All right, y'all, we've got the blower motor in. We've got our upper gasket. This is the duct work going up to the defroster. We've got the gasket re-glued with silicone. I'm just using regular household silicone. You can use whatever you want. This one takes a little longer to dry. And then I found a strip of this foam laying on the glove box. You can cut some of this. I actually had some other pieces I was going to use, but I just stuffed that in this gap. And when I install this cover, I'm hoping that it compresses that a little bit. Then once I install the cover, I'm going to go ahead and fix this top corner. So I'm going to let everything dry tonight. I'm pretty much done. I've gotten the cover gasket re-glued. Obviously you can't have it falling off because it's literally going to go up and sandwich its way up behind this thing here. So it's probably going to peel off a little bit. So I got to be really careful getting it up there. So I probably should. So it goes up like this. And if I were you, and I'm probably going to do it too, I would put some extra silicone up here to make sure this top part stays as you slide this part up, because there's just enough clearance, and this could easily fold over, which is fine really, but I'll probably reinforce this top section here. All right, guys, and then we'll again, I tested it before I reinstalled it. Everything works. So, whoops, let me turn this key off. I already disconnected the battery. All right, guys, I'm slowly getting a handle on this. These are for sale on eBay. I'd say for $100 or $200. So I did attempt to take apart the switch here, which is this part, and it's just not really accessible. You can take apart this little metal box, which exposes this lever, which is bridging the connections on these circuits, and then it's going out to our connector. So, and again, our wiring diagram, a little bit confusing at first, but we're getting it figured out. So, all right, guys, over and out. All right, guys, I'm gonna double check the blower motor before we plug it in. So what I'm doing is I'm grounding out the circuit with my power probe. Everything's looking good. And then of course, right next door is our medium speed. And then right next door to that is our low speed. So, and again, since I can't get a new one of these very easily, let me show you what I've got here. I think I'm just gonna go with fans on high only. I was gonna hook up a couple different switches, but I couldn't find any two-way switches where I could go, you know, high, medium. That's what I would have liked, actually. I was considering just hooking up two switches, but I don't want to run the risk of having both switched on at once. So I'm just going to have one of these. Basically just connecting that ground. And then we'll just go with that. I got some multiple different options for hooking up, but anyways, let's get this thing done. Hey Brad, I just wanted to show you, got the air box all put back in. This is the part I was telling you about. All this was, there's a big space here, so I got some foam, put it up there, and then did a little silicone repair up here because this seals up and in. So kind of a weird little cover, but I was going to show you, just about done wiring this up. Basically, this is a on-off switch wired directly into the connector. This connector only goes here, as well as this button here, I think, but none of that's quite important. The best step is to replace this if you can find one, but eventually, we can cross that bridge. But as you can see, I'm putting this together, making sure everything works. I'm gonna shrink wrap this here, and but so you got your air coming out of the defrosters nicely. I would just leave it on defrost. I'm gonna double check these. These are all vacuum operated. It's really sort of weird. And then your hot cold is this cable here. So anyway, but I'm just gonna have it sticking out through here for now. It would take another couple hours, hour at least, to mount it inside this. Let me turn this off. It would take a while to mount it on this, but there would be a way. You probably have to drill in here. That means you'd have to drill in here and then wrap the wiring around, but that'd be another couple hours at least. So anyway, brother, I will have this thing ready tomorrow morning. I just got to get the glove box in and then get it outside. I'm gonna